Oh, jeez! The fields are not just about livestock, crops, or timber.
Whoa, there it is.
Sometimes these lands offer more than we could ever expect. Be it extraterrestrial entities and terrifying beasts, or otherworldly remains and ancient artifacts.
Oh my god.
Here are some of the most strange farm discoveries that will leave you shocked. Oh, jeez! Jeez! Sometimes curiosity can take you to unfamiliar places. That's what happened to a farmer who heard strange sounds coming from a thistle patch on his property. One night he took a flashlight and decided to investigate. As he walked through the thistles, the sounds got louder. Oh! Suddenly his light fell on a creature with big black eyes. But before he could do anything, it vanished into the dark. He got scared and left the house. When he came back with the police the next day, there was nothing strange to be found. Home Alone.
Yeah, there it is. Whoa.
A young boy was home alone when he got a big surprise. He noticed movement outside and bravely went to check. From his balcony, he spotted an alien with a big head and black eyes, hiding in the bushes. Before he could do anything, the alien disappeared.
Whoa, there it is. Oh, shit.
The boy ran downstairs to look for it and was shocked to see the alien running away from his house, moving super fast. He couldn't keep up with it. The alien never came back, but the boy always wondered why it visited and where it came from.
Yeah, there it is. Whoa.
Tomb Raider Discovery. In 2018, some tomb raiders in the Nazca Caves made a shocking discovery. While exploring the caves, they saw a mummy that looked partly human, but strange, lying on the ground. They also discovered artifacts with long heads and only 3 fingers. When the robbers were caught, the officers found photos and videos of these odd findings on their phones. Some items were recovered, but the alien-looking mummy is still missing. Prehistoric Discovery.
A massive hybrid mammoth skull with both 9-foot tusks still attached.
Farmers make their living from the land, but sometimes they discover surprising things. Using a backhoe to dig in 2015, 2 farmers in Michigan found a huge white object in their land. Despite their initial mistaken belief that it was a fence post, it turned out to be a pile of bones. After consulting with experts, it quickly discovered that the bones belonged to a prehistoric mammoth that lived around 15,000 years ago. The mammoth, which includes a gigantic skull and 9-foot-long tusks, was donated to a museum.
At the time we did this excavation, nobody yet knew that humans were in this part of Michigan 15,500 years ago.
Mummified Creature. In Mentepec, Mexico, locals found a mummified creature on a ranch. It was a strange, skinny being with a huge head, a tail, and empty eye sockets. This area is known for unusual events like crop circles and UFO sightings, leading people to suspect that the creature might be connected to these phenomena. Local authorities were informed and scientists were called in. Initially, the scientists thought it might be an unknown or evolving species. However, DNA testing showed no identifiable genetic material, leaving the results a mystery. Even after examining the bones, skin, and hair closely, scientists couldn't figure out what the creature was. Restricted Area Mystery. A farmer got the biggest surprise of his life when he mistakenly entered a restricted area in the dense woods. While searching for his lost goat, he heard a noise coming from the nearby bushes, thinking it might be his animal. He turned around toward the sound and saw something unexpected. Standing there was a humanoid figure whose extraterrestrial features became visible when the farmer shone his flashlight on it. With its pitch-black eyes, the creature was trying to hide behind a tree. Before the farmer could inform the authorities, the extraterrestrial hid behind the bushes and was never seen again. Midnight Guest. Imagine waking up around the middle of the night with an unexpected guest in your home. This became a reality for one man. One night he woke up to weird noises outside his house. Thinking it might be a thief, he grabbed a stick and went to check. He saw a shadow behind a tree. As he got closer, a head popped out between the branches. After witnessing this, he quickly ran back inside and locked everything up. In the morning, he called his friend over and they looked around, but only found some strange footprints. Prey at beach. When a beachgoer discovered a tiny dwarf lying on the sand in a shaded area of the beach, it gave him the shock of his life. It appeared as if a bird had dropped it. The man tried to give first aid to the injured dwarf, but it was challenging due to its small size. While he was still attempting to come up with a plan, a stargazer suddenly emerged, grabbed the tiny dwarf, and vanished. Secret of Cascade Mountains. Back on October 15, 1996, a doctor had a strange experience while walking his dog in the Cascade Mountains in Washington, USA. He saw an alien coming out of a UFO. When the UFO left, he grabbed the alien and took it to his lab. There, he performed an autopsy and ran experiments on it. Amazed by what he discovered, he filmed everything and provided the video evidence to the government. However, his story was met with doubt due to the lack of solid proof and inconsistencies. Still, for UFO enthusiasts, it remained a fascinating and controversial tale. Snowmobile Surprise. In the winter of 1992, two snowmobilers in Anacation, Quebec, stumbled upon something odd in a field. It looked like a creature they had never seen before, lifeless and out of place. They carefully lifted it with a rope and stick to avoid direct contact. It wasn't frozen solid and gave off a strange smell. They left the creature overnight to gather more equipment and plan their investigation. When they returned the next day, it was gone. They suspected that an animal might have dragged it away, but all they had left were a few photographs. Frozen remains. Recently, a video showing what looks like a lifeless alien in the Berharatsti forest has surfaced. A pale, skinny creature was found lying partially buried in the snow. Locals believe this incident is connected to an event that occurred a month ago when an unidentified flying object crashed into the woods. Authorities quickly arrived and blocked off the area and moved that creature to some known location. The video has left everyone questioning. Some people think that it was an extraterrestrial creature that might have been found after the crashed UFO and couldn't survive on Earth. Tiny being. In Lahore, Pakistan, workers were renovating an old building when they found a tiny 4-inch creature while digging. It was alive when discovered, but lost its life as soon as it was pulled from the soil, as if it couldn't survive outside the Earth. Despite searching the area for more of these beings, none were found. People informed the officials, and soon they took the creature with them for further investigation. Crop circle. A normal night turned spooky when the sky over a small village was filled with strange noises. It seemed like a flying object was moving around. The next morning, everyone was amazed to see a huge, perfect crop circle in the field. It appeared overnight and covered a large area of crops. The design was so neat and detailed that it seemed impossible for humans to make it so quickly, which made people wonder if aliens were trying to talk to us. Maybe it was a message we don't understand yet. Vanishing Creature. Farmer, while he was walking through his orchard when he heard the sound of dry leaves like someone was walking behind him. He looked around but saw nothing. Then he noticed the sound was still following him. When he looked to the side, he was shocked to see a strange creature blended in with the surroundings. It quickly appeared behind a tree and then ran away. The farmer chased it, but the creature vanished as if it had superpowers. Forest encounter. Have you ever been surprised by an unexpected sight while on a routine outing? A man was. While searching for mushrooms in a nearby forest, he noticed movement, as if someone had passed by him. He got worried, thinking it might be a snake. As he moved forward, he spotted a tiny creature sneaking behind a tree. It had a black body, and its features were hard to see. Alarmed, he quickly moved away to avoid the mysterious creature and never dared to enter the forest again. Skinwalker's trick. A man's peaceful sleep was interrupted by a dog's bark outside. He went to check and was scared by the sight. Behind the wall, a skinwalker was hiding, with its eyes glowing in the dark. At first, it made a dog's bark sound just right. Then, the sound turned strange and creepy. The man realized it was trying to trick him. Feeling very scared, he ran back inside and locked the door. He never saw the creature again, but he always remembered those glowing eyes and spooky sounds. Caught on camera. Forest officials set up a motion sensor camera in the woods after campers reported seeing strange creatures. When they reviewed the footage, they were shocked to see a very tall and thin green alien. It suddenly appeared behind the trees, came to the front, and then went back. It looked like the alien knew about the camera and wanted to show its presence. Later, the officials sealed off the area and searched for the alien, but they only found strange footprints. Hidden treasure. In Tanga, a realtor made an incredible discovery while working on a plot of land. As he was leveling the area in Pembarthi village when his earth mover accidentally broke open a copper pot filled with gold and silver ornaments, including beads, earrings, and chains. When the villagers heard about the treasure, they performed a traditional ceremony, believing it might have belonged to a goddess from an old temple. Later, authorities were informed about the find, and according to the law, they did not allow the landowner to keep the treasure. The government decided to dig further to see if there is more hidden underground. Treasure in the British field.
Oh my god.
There's pennies everywhere.
A couple in Somerset found a huge stash of old coins worth of up to £5 million while metal detecting in a British field. They kept finding more and more coins, making the discovery even more exciting. They took the coins to the British Museum for examination. The experts discovered that the coins were from a time long ago, when people buried their valuables due to uncertainty.
I've never seen so many Saxon and Norman pennies.
After patiently waiting, the coins were officially declared treasure by the local coroner. They were then offered to a museum, and the couple was paid for their find.
Try and be very, very patient, because you don't just go out there and find gold immediately.
Midnight barn ritual. A family got the fright of their lives one night. As they looked outside the window, they saw small figures moving around their barn. As they approached, they saw that these beings, which were too small to be humans, were performing some sort of weird ritual while walking on two legs. All of a sudden, a bright explosion of light flashed from the sky. When the light went away, the strange little beings were gone. The family stayed up all night, wondering what they had seen and if the creatures would return. Lucky strike. Who knew a day of pulling weeds could change a family's life forever? That's exactly what happened to a farmer in Urugati. While his daughter was working in their tomato field, she found a shiny rock. After a local expert confirmed it was a diamond, the farmer couldn't believe their luck. They decided to sell the diamond, and word spread quickly. Traders from all over came to their farm, eager to buy the precious gem. It was finally sold for 10 lakhs. After this incident, everyone in the Cornu district grabbed shovels and began searching their fields, hoping to find their own diamonds. Uninvited guest. In Colorado's Black Forest, a villager's night turned scary when strange lights moved around his house. Then he heard noises coming from his storage room. He was curious and moved closer to see what it was. He saw an alien standing by the wall. They stared at each other, too surprised to move. The man ran inside and called for help. When the police came, they looked everywhere but couldn't find the alien. With no sign of it anywhere, the villager wondered if he had seen an alien.
Oh man, what
Giant legs. A visitor to a town near Hanu was shocked when they stumbled upon a farm filled with dragon chickens. As the farm owner opened the chicken cage, the visitor got a surprise when he saw these birds with giant, thick legs. The owner told him that these Dong Tao chickens are bred in northern Vietnam and are highly prized. Their lumpy legs are considered a delicacy and can fetch up to $2,000 each. Especially popular among the wealthy during the Vietnamese New Year, known as Tet, these rare birds leave a lasting impression on anyone who encounters them. Mysterious departure. Officers at an American military base were alerted when they saw a green humanoid creature walk up a ramp into a flying saucer. As soon as the creature was inside, the saucer flew up into the air and disappeared behind the trees. The officers quickly went to inform their seniors, but by the time they arrived, the saucer was already gone. An investigation is now underway to determine how the saucer entered the base without being detected by radar. Could this be proof that aliens are spying on us? Mysterious safe. In the small Orleans County town of Barry, a farmer discovered a large safe in his field, which fueled curiosity about what might have been inside. It was found with a note saying whoever opened it could keep its contents and weighed about 500 to 600 pounds. The farmer tried using a sledgehammer and worked on the hinges, but he could only break off the dial and handle, leaving the safe damaged. After the failed attempt to open it, the people in Barry decided to put the safe in a future town museum. Mystery bear. A farmer's routine day took an extraordinary turn. While working in his field, a strange creature appeared out of nowhere. At first, he thought it was a bear, but as it started moving, it looked less like a bear or any known animal. Though it was large and hairy like a bear, it had a long, thick tail, resembling that of an alligator. The farmer watched closely, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. Before he could draw any conclusions, the creature suddenly vanished without a trace. Rubbing his eyes in disbelief, the farmer searched the field but found nothing. Rake sighting. A man had a very unpleasant experience when he decided to explore an abandoned building one night. That old structure was famous for eerie sightings. Just when he reached there, he saw a rake on the roof. It was a thin, pale creature that looked different from a human, with long arms and legs, sharp claws, and glowing eyes. The creature crawled on all fours, moving quickly and strangely. When it saw the man, it backed away and disappeared behind the wall. Nobody ever saw it again in that area. Secret alien discovery. A leaked video from a secretive base shocked everyone. Two janitors working at the base had always been curious about what was happening behind the restricted doors. One day they managed to sneak into an experimental laboratory. At the end of a long corridor, they found a room. When they opened the door, they were shocked to see a weak alien with a head much larger than its body, looking like it needed help. Suddenly, they heard a noise and quickly rushed back to their duties, trying to avoid being caught by their supervisors. Road sighting. A couple missed a rare sight, but their dashboard camera captured it. While driving on a rural road, they accidentally pointed the camera towards some bushes by the roadside and recorded a humanoid figure that looked like a scene from a sci-fi movie. The camera captured what seemed to be the head, torso, and front limbs of a mysterious creature. The figure resembled a gray alien with a large head and two black eyes. The couple was amazed to witness this once they reviewed the footage. Chupacabra in Pakistan. In Sakalat, Pakistan, an owner of a goat farm got the shock of his life when he found a Chupacabra. It had red eyes, big teeth, and a dog-like face. He called his neighbors for help, and they managed to catch it. They kept it hidden to keep the neighborhood safe and tied it with ropes because it was aggressive. Eventually, they informed the authorities, who took the creature away to study it, but they never shared their findings. An unknown carcass. A woman in Central Florida noticed a horrible smell around her house during the day. She bravely went outside to check. There, she found a creature with a slender tail, a weird head, and a big jaw. She couldn't tell if it was a reptile or a mammal, as it was all dried up. She called some experts who thought it might be a possum. To be sure, they took it away to study it closely. The woman hoped they would solve the mystery and that no more smelly creatures would show up in her yard. Unsettling hike in Ohio.
I see you.
A couple's trek in Ohio took a terrifying turn when they heard dry leaves crunching behind them, giving the impression that they were being followed by someone. Looking around in the darkness, they noticed blazing eyes observing them from the shadows.
I see you.
The creature got closer and closer, and just when they thought it might be coming towards them, a forest officer showed up in his rounds. As soon as he arrived, it ran away, as if it only wanted to bother the couple. They never went hiking in those woods again, always remembering those scary glowing eyes. Skinny Bob. Life only throws you a curve where you don't see it coming. That was the situation for the man who met the unbelievable during his morning walk in the park. Strange beings all dressed in black with huge heads were walking there. Shocked, he called the police right away. When they arrived, they caught these weird creatures. No one knew where they came from or why they were there. Later, a video appeared online showing these beings being asked questions. The origin of the video is still unknown, and even the authorities haven't disclosed it yet. Glowing visitor. In Brazil, a small town caught people's attention as the locals kept seeing an alien. One night, a news team decided to film where it was often spotted. They tried to capture it on camera, and they were in luck. The creature appeared from the bushes as a glowing light, and then quickly vanished in a puff of smoke. Some think this might be proof of how aliens teleport, but the mystery still remains. Beastman. A group of friends picked the wrong place for a fun trip near the most haunted forest. As night fell, they heard loud dog barks. In their hotel room, they forgot to close the window. Suddenly, they woke up to a terrifying sight. A giant man-beast with dark fur, long arms, and twisted horns stood by the open window. They screamed and it ran away. The hotel staff rushed in and explained it was an ancient jungle guardian, older than the trees themselves. The friends stayed awake most of the night, then left in the morning. Chupacabra in Ukraine. A brave Ukrainian farmer faced off with a chupacabra. He was attending to the chores of the day and realized that a chupacabra was trying to open the cages of animals in the barn. He quickly seized his pitchfork and got it before others could notice. He handed the bizarre creature to the authorities of the area, who in turn deposited the creature to a laboratory for further analysis. Scientists were excited because they had been getting reports of similar animals in the Kharkiv forests. Now teams are searching those areas, hoping to find more of these mysterious creatures. Werewolf. Have you ever gone searching for a pet and found something really scary instead? A lady did. She went into the woods alone at night to look for her missing dog. As she went deeper into the woods, she heard a sniffing sound. Thinking it must be her dog, she followed the noise. When she reached the source of the sound, she was shocked to find a wolf-like creature with a large head and sharp teeth looking ready to jump at her. Scared, she ran away, and she made it back to her car safely. Leg bone.
And look at that right there. There's a big leg bone.
A normal day turned into an exciting adventure for a local photographer. While he was searching for his dropped drone in a field, he stumbled upon a large mammoth bone. It was covered in a strange blue powder that felt like dust.
It's got blue stuff all over it. When I get that sealed up, that will look so neat.
He was amazed by how the leg bone extended from what would have been the shoulder to the tip of the fingers.
Super, super cool. It'll go from your shoulder to your tip of your fingers.
He took it and carefully placed it in the car to prevent damage. After sealing it, he handed it over to the officials, and they placed it in a museum for everyone to see. Alien? At a construction site in India, as the laborers were preparing to paint a storage compartment high up in the room, they saw an extraordinary thing. Two strange creatures with their bodies covered with white fur stood motionless, staring at the men. They had thin legs, large eyes, and beaks like owls. The workers were surprised by the sight and attempted to capture the mysterious beings. However, before they could act, the creatures went into a small hole and disappeared from the view. Skinwalker at Bridge. Have you ever seen something so strange that it felt unreal? A few friends were walking by a lake when they noticed a green light shining from the lake bridge. When they got closer, they were amazed to see a green creature sitting on the bridge. It seemed to be a skinwalker with reptilian features. They wanted to take a closer look, but were unsure what they might find. Suddenly, their flashlight went out, leaving them in darkness. They quickly turned on their camera light, and to their surprise, it was gone. Leaked footage. At Area 51, workers were surprised to see a fast-moving object darting around the building. It zipped through the air with incredible speed. When it finally crashed to the ground, it shattered into tiny pieces, glowed brightly, and then flew away. Days later, a video emerged showing a room filled with people with an alien lying on a stretcher while doctors examined it. The video deepened the mystery, as the workers who had recorded it were quickly caught, leaving the true story behind the alien. Hospital secret. While exploring the hospital, a newly appointed nurse unintentionally went into a restricted area. She was shocked by what she saw when she walked inside the room. On a stretcher lay an unknown being that appeared lifeless and had marks all over its body. Strangely, it was missing one leg. While she was examining the being, hospital authorities arrived and arrested her for violating hospital policies, having seen her through the CCTV cameras. As she was escorted away, she was left with all her questions unanswered. Alien and Cemetery. You might have heard of strange stories, but this one is truly spooky. A visitor got lost and accidentally entered an old cemetery. While trying to find his way out, he saw someone near a grave. He decided to ask this person for directions, but quickly realized it wasn't a human. Instead of a strange, skinny creature with a huge head sitting by the grave, scared, the visitor ran away as fast as he could and thankfully found his way out. Camping surprise. Sometimes a camping trip can turn into an unexpected adventure. A traveler was camping in the woods when he heard a strange sound nearby. Thinking it might be a wild predator, he decided to check it out. When he stepped outside his camp, he couldn't believe his eyes. He saw a strange creature with a thin body and flattened ears appear behind a fence and went to the other side. The man was curious and went over to have a closer look, but it had already vanished by the time he reached it. Ancient shells. In February 2020, a farmer in Buenos Aires, Argentina, found huge shells buried on his land. He wasn't sure what it was, so he called some local authorities that reported it to the experts. They were excited to find out that the shells belonged to the glyptodonts, giant ancient creatures. They figured out the shells were about 20,000 years old. Now, with the shells exposed and at risk from the elements, paleontologists are working urgently to carefully remove and preserve them for further study. It's time for today's open discussion. A video that gained a lot of attention online shows an alien in a coffin tied up with ropes. Many people are connecting it with the Virginia UFO incident, which took place in Virginia, Brazil. During this event, 3 young women encountered a creature with a large head, red eyes, oily brown skin, and a foul odor. Later, reports included more sightings and claims of military involvement. However, the Brazilian military eventually concluded that the women had likely seen a homeless man with mental disabilities and that the military activities were routine. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.